Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. In this edition, the last edition for 2018 of Last Week in America, I'm going to bring you two stories. I already had this figured out and already had a video completely ready to go for the day of Christmas, the day after. But then something else happened I wanted to add to the story. So, first off, let's start with the first story that I had for you. Before Christmas, former President Barack Obama went to the Children's Hospital in Washington, D.C. And I thought it was marvelous that he did this. He does it. He and his wife have done this every year. It seems like for the last, since they were in office and everything. Anyway, and I was glad to see that he continued the tradition even after leaving office. Because Barack Obama could have just been like, "Well, I served my time as president. Screw you. I don't care about the rest of it." But that is not what he's been doing. He showed up to this hospital wearing a little Santa hat and a sack of toys and took them to the kids. He sat there and he talked to a number of the kids and the families, talked to the parents, hugged some of the kids. And I think the main thing of what I think he accomplished there was giving hope to those families. He didn't make a political thing out of it. He didn't go in there and, he didn't only talk to the people that supported him. He talked to people who were of any party. He didn't care. Party wasn't a thing. He was there for the kids. He was there for the parents. Trying to give them a little bit of hope in the holiday season. At a time where there may not be much. Where they're scared to death for their child. Where the child doesn't know what's going on. Where the child's really sick. And at Christmas, no less. So Barack Obama, being Barack Obama, showed up, took toys to the kids, spoke to them, spoke to the parents, and I think it was awesome. I think it was a great thing for him to do. And I wish more people were like him. More people that have the ability would do that. I think it was really cool. And one of the really cool thing though to me was he didn't want to take any credit for it. He didn't want to sit there and act like he was some God's gift to these children or families. He gave all the credit where credit was due. To the doctors and the nursing staff who take care of those children day in and day out. At the end of his tour of the hospital talking to the kids and families, he stopped and talked to a bunch of the doctors and nurses at one of the nurses' stations and thank them for the work they do. Because believe it or not, nurses, especially nurses, do not have it easy. And hospital doctors taking care of children don't have it easy either. Because you may not think that it tugs at their heartstrings to see those kids suffering. But I guarantee you it does. So the next time you see a nurse or a doctor, especially if they work at a children's hospital, you should thank them. They don't want your sympathy. But I do believe they deserve our respect. And that leads me to the next person. The next person is a fellow YouTuber. He's got a channel somewhere of over 3 million subscribers. And you all know him as Keemstar. And Keemstar has taken a lot of crap over the years. Taking a lot of crap from a lot of people for seemingly nothing. They're mad because he did something, he said things that they didn't like, years ago. But they don't care a dang about what he's doing now. But you know what Keemstar was doing the day of Christmas? I think it was the day after Christmas. He asked people that followed him on Twitter what they didn't get for Christmas that they really wanted. He didn't ask them why they couldn't afford it, why they couldn't have it. He took some of those people and he sent them money to their PayPal account so they could get the item that they dearly wanted for Christmas and they couldn't have. He did that time and again. 100 here, 100 there. And I lost count of how many I saw him helping. And I don't understand. That's the reason I don't understand why people hate on Keemstar. I understand he has a past. We all have a past. There's always something that we might not be proud of in the past. But it's in the past. And I wish more people understood that. But I think what Keemstar did is great. And I strive for one day that I will have the kind of money that he has so I can help other people. Unfortunately, right now, I can barely help myself. But one day, I hope to be where he is, to where I can help other people. And, there's a lot of reasons this channel exists. The reason I started wanting to do YouTube in the first place was McJuggernuggets and Kid Behind the Camera. Those are the two main reasons, and Angry Grandpa, of course. Those people, they drove me to want to be a YouTuber. From the stuff that McJuggernuggets was creating in the Psycho series, to the Angry Grandpa videos that Kid Behind the Camera was doing with Angry Grandpa. But what drove me to want to do a news show? That would be Drama Alert. Keemstar and Drama Alert. Now, do we do the same news? No. He covers YouTube drama. I cover political drama, I guess you could say. And unfortunately, I'm just not as good as he is. Just the facts. And I'm not going to hate on somebody just because they're better than me. But I see a lot of channels out there hating on Keemstar just so they can get a little clout. Just so they can make it big on YouTube. They find somebody to hate. And you know what? I'm not going to hate on any of those bigger YouTubers. That's not what I'm doing here. If I'm never as big as they are without hating on them, fine. At least I'll know I was honest about what I'm doing. There's a lot of YouTubers that people out there hate. Keemstar, Rice Gum. But I think they're decent people in the end. Especially Keemstar. I think Keemstar is a great guy. Look at what he does for people. He helped a guy that was about to be homeless a few weeks ago. Then he helped all those people at Christmas. The man's rich. He doesn't need to help anybody. He could just keep his money for himself and not help anybody. He's got lots of money. Doesn't have to really worry about where his next meal is coming from. And I think that's awesome. I wish, I was in a boat where I didn't have to worry all that much about money. But to see somebody that has money, that has, the things they need in life, and they still take the time out to help the little person, to help those people who couldn't get the Christmas gifts they wanted. I think that's awesome. And that was Last Week in America. Thank you for watching the series. I hope to bring it back in 2019. I'm not sure exactly when or how I will do that, but that is my plan. The only problems I'm having with bringing it back is the simple fact that I'm only getting like 5 to 8 views an episode. But I think we need to highlight the good in this country, and I will continue to try and highlight the good through this series. Because believe it or not, if you get out there and you actually talk to your fellow Americans, we are more alike than we are different. If you get out there and you talk to your fellow Americans, you'll realize we're not as divided as the news media wants you to think. We're not as divided as some of our political figures would have you think. We all want the same thing. Peace, prosperity, and a good economy. That's all we want. And I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, that's what most Americans want. We may have different views on how to get there. And we may argue about how we should get there. But at the end of the day, we're all Americans. We all love this country. And I wish more people would understand that. There's no group of people that's all the same in this country. Conservatives are not all bigots. Liberals are not all, insane, intolerant, idiots. Now, are there idiots and stupid people on both at the far ends of each political party? Yeah. You come across some intolerant people on both sides of the aisle. And unfortunately, like I was telling somebody just yesterday, sometimes people just they just talk the loudest. And unfortunately, the squeaky wheel gets oiled. And so these people sit there, and the ones that have the most negative things to say, filled with hate, are the ones that the media hears. They don't hear the rest of us that are calling for calm and peace. That are calling for reasonable debates and conversations about serious issues that face us today. But that's what I'm trying to do with this series. Yes, I'm a lefty. I'm as far liberal as far as I possibly can go left. But I believe we have more in common than we think. There's less that divides us than we think. So the next time you're out, don't just turn your nose up at somebody just because they have a different political view than you, or they have different views than you. Ask them why they have their views. Explain to them why you hold your views. If they don't support things like LGBT rights, ask them why. Explain to them why you do support them, or vice versa. But this is America, and we should all strive to be better. We should all strive to understand each other. As has been said in the past, a house divided will not stand. So please, get out there and talk to your fellow Americans. Whether you're a conservative or a liberal, it doesn't matter. We all want the same things. We want peace, security, prosperity. And I believe that is really the heart of America. I believe at our core we love each other, that we care for each other, no matter what our political party is. I hope I'm right. I'll see you in 2019. Thanks for watching. This has been The Big Ranch Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck, and I'll see you down the road.